How's it going, everybody? Incident Sub SG back again with another video. Okay, so it is the 16th of April as of now that I'm recording this, and Springfest in Singapore 2017 happened during 15th of April till today, 16th of April, and during the event Bushiroad actually had a booth for Dragonborne-Rise to Supremacy. They are going to be released card game, and when you attend their like demo or whatever, play games or whatever over there, you play a game, you learn the game, and they will give you one of their start decks that you used in the game. So I managed to head down to Springfest today for I think only like 1-2 hours, and managed to get one of this. Honestly, I didn't know they were giving this out until like I actually went there. I thought I would just like, play a game and roll with it. I actually tried DragoBorne in Rowell about one or 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago. And yeah, so I'll be here to unbox this, and yeah, there are, in this start pack, there are quite a few contents to it. So wrapper. So if you open this package thing, you'll get one deck. This is a mix of 3 different colors, and I'll explain to you guys later on. You get 3 dice corresponding to the colors of the cards in the deck. You get a rulebook, which is just a very simple this rulebook in this kind of style, and you get a playmat, which also doubles up as a poster at the other side. So yep, I'll get on to this later on. And for the rulebook, I'll just quickly scroll through so you guys can take a picture and read it on your own time. It's a pretty interesting game, but I must say that this game, it's definitely not for kids. The thought process is very, very, very long. So you guys can just pause and read the cards right here. If you play most of the card games like Vanguard, Buddy Fight, Duel Masters, Magic the Gathering, then you should roughly know the game. So that's the rulebook done. And now onto the dice. They are just 6-sided dices, with number 1 being represented by a dragon head. Okay, so this is the actual deck itself. What we are all very excited about. When they released the trailer, you guys should have seen it if you are catching up with the anime for Vanguard and Buddy Fight. There is a trailer at the end of the episode, so you guys can go check it out. I'll leave a link to that trailer in the description below. But when I first saw the trailer on Facebook, I literally just stood in the library awestruck. So I saw this yellow knight in yellow or golden armor, and I'm like, wow, that's gonna be my main. So this is their start deck, and it comes, as you can see, it comes with 3 different colors. One being the yellow color, or white color if you guys want to call it that way, which is represented by the Shield of Logress. And these are the banners. So what banners are is they are essentially like flags in Buddy Fight. You have to open them up as like sort of your resource. You guys can pause and read at the the rule book to know more what these resources are, but just got to know that yellow or white is represented by Shield of Logress. Green is represented by Rune Mark of Tir Na Nog. I'm gonna presume that all these like Tir Na Nog, Logress or whatever are like the names of the boss cards of that specific color. And red is represented by Standard of Taurus. Oops, sorry. So yep, they are the banners. So let's just take a look at this. This is the banner. As you can see, it's like a flag, and you guys got the standard name, attribute, illustrator, text, and standard card design. And as you can see behind the cards, there are some of the designs of all of the 5 flags or civilizations, if you guys would like to call it that way, throwback to Duel Masters. There are 2 more civilizations that are not released yet, the blue one and the purple one, but some snippets of them has been seen in the trailer. Once again, I'll leave the link in the description below so you guys can go check it out. The card design is really, really beautiful. Like as you can see, the DragoBorne logo here, it's a really nice printing. And Bushiroad International, blah blah blah. Let me see if I can find the sleeve. Hold up. Okay, so this is a second layer sleeve for Vanguard, and I think this is the second layer. Yep. So it's the same size as Buddy Fight cards, and yeah, to double sleeve a deck, you will require third layer for Vanguard and second layer for Buddy Fight. So yep, that's it for the card design. So moving on to the actual contents of the deck. Let me adjust my camera here a bit. So for the Shield of Logres part, we get 2 copies of Sunscale Dragon, which is a 6 resource cost dragon creature with 4 attack and 7 endurance, a very tanky card. I'll get on to the numbers later on. Next we have 4 copies of Bountiful Angel. So this being a demo slash start deck, most of the cards are vanillas. It's just like a taste of what DragoBorne can be. So it's a standard 3/3/3 card. So you get 4 of those. Next we have 4 copies of Logres Swiftblade. So okay, you know what? Reading this, I think Logres is probably like the name of the civilization, not the boss card or whatever already. So yep, it's a 2/3/1 card with a continuous ability right there. Okay, now moving on to spell cards for this. Note that spell cards are, for now, they can be used in all colors despite their original color. So a spell card, we have Elthane's Blessing. This is the knight I was talking about, and yeah, he looks swaggy as hell. So there are dices in this game, as you can see from the start of the video, and you will roll them every turn. So depending on the number on that specific colored dice, this card will be affected. So as you can see, the original effect of this card is choose a creature and it gets a +2 stat for attack and endurance for this turn. And if your dice for yellow is 1 to 3, then you can choose 2 creatures to gain a +2. If it's 4 to 6, then you can draw a card. But note that you don't activate both the effects at once. You will only activate the original effect, which is a +2 for all stats. And depending on whether your dice is at 1 to 3 or 4 to 6, you activate their effects correspondingly. Okay, and last but not least, we got the Shield of Logres, which is our banner. Okay, now moving on to the Rune Mark of Tir Na Nog. Or yeah, I can't believe I got that right, but yep. We have 2 copies of the Prismatic King, which is a 5/5/5 very tanky card, and a very well balanced card as well. Then we have 4 copies of Primate Javelinier. Yep, this is a very good card because it's a 4/5/4 card. Next we have 4 copies of the only Mega Colony in this entire deck, Blood Scent Arachnid. So as you can see, it's a very special card because it has an ambush. So you can pause and read it right there. I think there's a section about ambush in the rulebook, you guys can pause and read. So it's a 3/3/3 ambush card. Then we have, of course, the banner, the Rune Mark of Tir Na Nog. And yeah, Rune Mark has very few cards in this start deck, honestly, so it's kind of bad. But they don't really do much except for the Arachnid and the very tanky card. Okay, so moving on to the most prominent part of this deck, which is definitely the very offensive Standard of Taurus. So we get 4 copies of the Runic Battlesmith. You can see it's a very powerful card. Most of them are low in endurance actually. Their highest endurance being 4 from what I see. And their attacks are usually pretty high. So that's a Runic Battlesmith with 4/6/3. Next we have 2 copies of Wandering Orc, another 4/5/4 card. Shit, this is a very weird way to say it. Anyway, this is a new game, we are all learning, right? So next we have 2 copies of Bone Club Giant, 3/4/3. Then we have 4 copies of Hidden Blade. So this is another interesting card. It's a Fort Burst, which is like, in a sense, shield triggers it back in Duel Masters. So yep. Oh, this game is also similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because as you can see from the Blood Scent Arachnid earlier on, there is the ambush. So ambush can be set up like trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll get on to that in a moment when I show the playmat. So yep. Next we have 4 copies of potentially the second strongest card in this deck, Harpy Huntress. When this creature is summoned, you get a +1/+0 for this turn, and if you cross if you put a dice on this card, which you'll read in the rulebook, you get a +1/+1. So this card can just swing out for like a 5 attacking stat with a small cost of 2 cards. 2 resource, sorry. Okay, next we have the last creature in this deck, Goblin Madcat. This is probably the strongest card in the deck. It's a 1 resource card, and his auto is very, very powerful. You guys will know what this is. A Dragon Shield. You guys can read up the Dragon Shield in the rulebook. And we have a +1/+1 endurance and attack. Sorry, a 1/1 endurance and attack. So it's a very meh stat card, but it's there for the auto ability. Now moving on to the spells for the fire, for the red part of the deck. We have Torch, 4 copies of it. It's a Fort Burst, and X damage. X is the value of your red dice. So note that you have to roll your dice at the start of every turn. Then we have Pyroblast, which is the strongest ambush in the deck, because it's, instead of dealing X damage to one creature at the opponent's fort, you deal X damage to all of the creatures on the fort. So yep, and last but not least, we have the banner. Okay, so that's about it for the, that is it for the deck actually. I'll move on. I'll cut the video now and show you guys the playmat. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I don't have my tripod on this, so I kind of have to like hand free this. Anyway, this is how the playmat looks like. So it's quite a big map, if you ask me. Definitely bigger than Buddy Fight and Vanguard. So this is the standard learn how to play kind of playmat, where you got the rules at the side, just like how Vanguard's trial deck always have. So there's the turn flow, the start phase, main, combat, and end phase. So I'll leave this for you guys to read. Let me turn off my lighting so you guys can pause and read it better. Okay, so as you can see from here, there is the ambush, the forts, the dragon shields, and as well as the banners. So this is where the discard pile is, of course being the drop zone and the deck. So banners, they will go here. I just realized how badly I messed this up because I forgot to take out the banners. So you can definitely mix around where you want to put your banners. So as for me, this is usually how I would like to put my banners. Not like not like it really matters lah, but it still works that way. And these are the dices. So dices can be put here or on your monsters at the fort. So how the fort works is, right, before you start the game, you'll have 2 face down cards per fort. I'm just randomly putting cards down, even though most of them are red. And these are your fort bursts. So how fort bursts work is, if you open a fort and you don't have to show your opponent, okay? So when your opponent decides to attack your fort, example this one, this specific one, you don't want to block it, you put the card into your hand, you show it to yourself first, and if there is a fort burst ability, you can go ahead and activate it and just shoot damage the opponent. So in this case, the only fort burst is Torch, as well as the Huntress from the fire, or rather the standard of Taurus. And I refuse to open my dices, but dices can be put here to protect your forts, as a way to say extra shields. And one fort has 2 shields or cards to block your fort. Well, yeah, that's how they call it. And one fort can have a maximum of 2 monsters. So yep, that's pretty much the main gist of the game. And note that monsters cannot attack monsters directly, but the only way for your monsters to die or to take damage or whatever is through blocking. So it's similar to Duel Masters in a sense that you can only defend with your monsters if they are standing and you rest them. So example, during my turn I summon a Wandering Orc. I can choose to attack it, I can choose to use it to attack, or I can let it stand end my turn and I will have a shield for my fort. So note that all the monsters, you can move them during your main phase, but when you move your monsters, it means you enter your main phase and you cannot summon monsters anymore. So yep, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I'll do a more precise ruling for the game once I get to know the game better, because the rulebook is not really very informative regarding the dices, but I'll find the most accurate one and I'll get back to you guys in a separate video. So that is it for this video, everyone. This has been Dragonborne, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.